Welcome to the chemistry session. Today we are going to discuss about the study of vapor pressure. How does the vapor pressure occurs in case of solutions? So, in the study of vapor pressure we are going to study about two types. One is liquid in liquid and another one is solid in liquid solution. Okay, as we are telling about these two cases, in these two cases today we are going to discuss about the liquid in liquid solution. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the liquid in liquid solution. And here these two liquids are volatile in nature. Volatile means they are going to get evaporate from the that container. For example, petrol you might be knowing. Whenever we are going to take the petrol, we are going to immediately close that container, we are going to close it. Why? Because the petrol gets evaporated. Even you can take the water which is kept in a container, even it will going to be evaporate, it will going to form the vapors. So, we are going to tell that whenever the two volatile liquids are mixed, there is a formation of the binary solution. So, let us go for the explanation. So, let me take one container and here I have take the liquid which is volatile liquid 1 I will write volatile liquid 1 and this must be in a closed container. Okay. And as the liquid is there, as it is volatile, it will going to form the vapors. It will going to form the vapors. Okay. And these vapors will going to put a pressure because the whatever the vapors are there, they will going to collide with each other and they will exert the pressure. And then let me take another volatile solution in a closed container. This is another volatile liquid 2 and again here also there is a formation of the vapors. Here also there is a formation of the vapors. So, we are studying about the liquid in liquid. It means I am going to mix these two liquids. I am going to mix these two liquids. So, there is a formation of the binary solution. I am going to mix these two liquid 1 and liquid 2. So, what is this? It is a binary solution of two volatile liquids. Okay. Here there is a one liquid 1 which is volatile in nature and I took one other liquid that is I named as liquid 2 which is also volatile in nature. And I am going to mix these two, of course it is a closed container and then there is a formation of binary solution of the two volatile liquids. So, see here, in the liquid 1, whatever the liquid is there, it comes in the form of vapor. It comes in the form of vapor and keep in mind that these vapors according to the kinetic theory of gases, they will collide with each other. These particles collide with each other and they will exert the pressure. They will exert the pressure, that is what we called as vapor pressure. That is what we called as vapor pressure. But there is a one condition during the dynamic equilibrium. Why we are using during the dynamic equilibrium? Let me tell you. See here, suppose liquid is there. Liquid is there, as I am telling, these are the making the vapors or these are forming the vapors. These are forming the vapors. It means that there is a process of vaporization occurring. There is a process of vaporization occurring. Then all these vapors which are collected here above the liquid, those again come to the solution. Those again come to the solution. This process is called as condensation. This process is called as condensation. So whenever the vaporization, the rate of vaporization becomes equal to rate of condensation, during that time there is a dynamic equilibrium is occurred. There is a dynamic equilibrium is occurred. Are you getting? Suppose I have a one container and liquid is there, above that vapors are there. The liquid is going to form the vapors. That is what we called as vaporization. Okay, after some time those vapors again come to the solution, that is condensation. When these two processes are at the same rate, there is a formation of the dynamic equilibrium. So during the dynamic equilibrium, whatever the pressure exerted by these vapor is called as vapor pressure. So let me give the definition of the vapor pressure. The definition of the vapor pressure is the pressure exerted by the vapor at dynamic equilibrium. Okay, the pressure exerted by the vapor pressure we are telling, pressure exerted by the vapor, but when there is a dynamic equilibrium. Okay, so this is how we can tell what is the definition of the vapor pressure. So let me explain you few more things. Here, the liquid 1 which is volatile in nature, the mole fraction of, as it is liquid 1, I will take the mole fraction of this one as x1, this one as x1, and it is the volatile liquid 2, the mole fraction of this liquid I am going to take as x2, I am going to take as x2. Now whatever the pressure exerted by the vapor in this solution, I am going to write it as pressure P1 naught. Why I am using the P1 naught term? Because it is in the pure form. We are not mixing till now. It is in the pure form. So the pressure, vapor pressure of the component 1 is P1 naught. Similarly, here also there will be a pressure, here also there will be a vapor pressure exerted by these vapors, that I will term, that term is written by P2 naught, that term is written by P2 naught. Are you getting? P2 naught is the vapor pressure of the component 2 in the pure form. So let me write the terms here. X1 is the mole fraction of component 1. Okay, this is the x1, and x2, it is also a mole fraction, but it's of component 2. x2 is the mole fraction of component 2. It is component 2. Then P1 naught. What is the P1 naught? It is the vapor pressure of component 1 in the pure form. In the pure form. And then P2 naught is the vapor pressure of the component 2. Again it is also in the pure form. It is also in the pure form. Hope you are getting whatever the terms I am explaining. Liquid 1 is there, its mole fraction I took as x1 and its vapor pressure in the pure form I took as P1 naught, and here liquid 2 is there, its mole fraction I took as a x2 and its vapor pressure in the pure form is taken as P2 naught. Okay. Now, what I am doing? I am combining these two. I am combining these two in order to get a binary solution. In order to get a binary solution, here when I am mixing these two liquids, don't you think these also forms the vapor and these also exert the pressure? Correct. And this solution also, there is a pressure P1 exerted by this liquid 1, and let me take x1 which is the liquid 1, that is a mole fraction of liquid 1. It is the exerting the pressure, it is creating the pressure of P1. And next again one more liquid I mixed here, that mole fraction is x2 and it exerts the pressure P2. It exerts the pressure P2. Now what are the P1 and P2? See here, P1 and P2 are the partial vapor pressure of component 1 and component 2. Okay. P1 is the partial vapor pressure of component 1. P1 is the partial vapor pressure of the component 1 and P2 is the partial vapor pressure of component 2. P2 is the partial vapor pressure of the component 2. Keep in mind that we are mixing two volatile liquids, and the first volatile liquid which is having the mole fraction x1 and whatever the pressure exerted by the vapor that is taken in the form of P1 naught, it is nothing but vapor pressure of the pure component 1. And I am taking another liquid whose mole fraction that is said to be a x2 and it is exerting the vapor pressure P2 naught in the pure form. So when I am mixing these two, there is a formation of binary solution of the two volatile liquids, and here there are two pressures P1 and P2. These are the partial vapor pressure of the component 1. How P1 is contributed by the component 1, P2 is that is contributed by the component 2. So P1 and P2 are the partial vapor pressure of the component 1 and 2. Okay. Now we will go for the Raoult's law. Now we will go for the see here, Raoult's law is similar to Henry's law. In last class we discussed about the Henry's law. Raoult's law is also similar to the Henry's law. So what is the Raoult's law states that the partial vapor pressure of the component, the partial vapor pressure of the component is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the component in the solution. Partial vapor pressure of the component is directly proportional to the mole fraction of the component in the solution. This is the statement of the Raoult's law. So what is the Raoult's law states? Partial vapor pressure of partial vapor pressure of component, okay, partial vapor pressure of the component is directly proportional to mole fraction is directly proportional to mole fraction in the solution, because that component present in the solution. Okay. So, here there are two components, component 1 and component 2. How to write the Rolle's law in terms of these component mathematically? In terms of mathematically, see here, partial vapor pressure of the component 1. What is the statement? Partial vapor pressure of the component, that which component I am taking? Component 1 is directly proportional to mole fraction of the component in the solution. Mole fraction of the component in the solution. That mole fraction of the component in the solution is x1. Are you getting? P1 is directly proportional to x1. And similarly, the partial vapor pressure of the component 2, P2 is directly proportional to x2. So, according to our statement, whatever the mathematical form written is, that is correct. Partial vapor pressure of different components, here it is P1, that is directly proportional to the mole fraction, and here it is P2, that directly proportional to the x2. And here there is a proportionality constant is removed. Here this directly proportionality constant is removed by one more constant, P1 is equals to P1 naught into x1. P1 is equals to P1 naught into x1. Similarly, P2 is equals to P2 naught into x2. And see here, whatever the terms I am writing here, all those terms already I have explained you. Here P1 is the partial vapor pressure of the component 1 and P2 is the partial vapor pressure of the component 2. And x1 is the mole fraction of the component 1 and x2 is the mole fraction of the component 2. And again P1 naught is the vapor pressure of the component 1 in the pure form and P2 is the vapor pressure of the component 2 in the pure form. I hope you are getting what I am writing here. So, let me explain you how the total pressure is calculated. See, in the binary solution, here two types of the pressure are there, partial vapor pressure. I need the total pressure of this total pressure I need to calculate. So, according to Dalton's law of partial pressure, according to Dalton's law of partial pressure is written as P total, because we want the total pressure. P total is equals to P1 plus P2. Okay, we want the P total here. P total is equals to P1 plus P2. As Dalton's law of the partial pressure, you are already studied in case of your first PUC. So, directly I will write P total is equals to P1 plus P2. Here, substitute the P1. P1 is equals to P1 naught into x1. P2 is equals to P2 naught into x2. So, one more thing I want to tell you, the sum of the mole fraction of the all the components in the solution is unity. X1 plus x2 is equals to 1. Now, here x1 is equals to 1 minus x2. X1 is equals to 1 minus x2. That I am going to substitute here. 1 minute. So, here we know that the sum of the mole fractions of all the component in the solution is unity. So, here two components are there, x1 plus x2 is equals to 1. So, take the x1 term, separate, x1 is equals to 1 minus x2 and substitute that here. P1 naught is equals to here 1 minus x2 plus P2 naught x2. Then if I simplify this term plus x2. Okay, and here so P total is equals to P1 naught. In these two, P1 naught is common. P1 naught is common, 1 minus x2 plus here in these two terms you take x2 as common, P1 naught as it is plus x2. So, P2 naught minus P1 naught. So, P1 keep as it is, in these two terms separate out the x2. So, I can write P total is equals to P1 naught plus P2 naught minus P1 naught into x2. So, this is the mathematical form of the Rolle's law. This is the mathematical form of the Rolle's law. See here, this is the statement according to this mathematical expression is according to the Rolle's law. So, here P1 is equals to P1 naught into x1, P2 is equals to P2 naught into x2. I need to calculate the total pressure. P total is equals to P1 plus P2 and substitute the value of P1 and P2. You are going to get P1 naught into x1 plus P2 naught into x2. Okay. And we know that x1 plus x2 is equals to 1 and take the separate term of x1, you are going to get P1 naught into 1 minus x2 plus P2 naught into x2 and simplify this, take the x2 term separate, that is common, x2 as common, finally you are going to get the mathematical form of the Rolle's law in this way. Okay. Here all the terms already you know this, what is the P1 naught, what is the P2 naught and what is the x2. Okay. Let me draw the graph of the Rolle's law for the binary solution of the two volatile liquids. So, here vapor pressure versus mole fraction. Okay. As we are talking about the two components, the pressure exerted by the component 1 as it is directly, P1 is directly proportional to x1. So, you are going to get a straight line which is passing through a origin. Here I am going to get a, as I am drawing this graph for the two components, here this is for the P1, okay, and here initially P1 is directly proportional to x1 means initially P1 value is 0, then x1 will also be 0, x1 is also be 0 and then P1 when it converts to P1 naught, it means we have P1 is equals to P1 naught into x1. So, when the P1 becomes equals to P1 naught, the value of the x here P1 it will be up to P1 naught. According to this equation I am drawing the graph. So, here it will be like this. Okay. So, similarly if I draw the graph for the P2, as you know P2 is the component, this is also passing through the origin. this is also passing through the origin. Here it will be a P2, and as it is P2, first previously here x2 will be 0, x2 will be 0, and then it will be P2 naught, and here x2 will be 1, here x1 will be 1. Okay, and then now we only draw the graph for this. I need to know the P total. So the P total graph will be like this. This is the P total, which is equals to P1 plus P2. Okay. So here we are drawing the graph vapor pressure versus mole fraction. Vapor pressure versus mole fraction. So here first this is the component 1, it's as it is directly proportional, the graph passes through the origin. And when P1 is directly proportional to x1, initially the value of P1 is 0. It means x1 here I am going to take as 0. And then P1 reaches to P1 naught. P1 reaches to P1 naught here. It means P1 reaches to, if it is P1 naught means x1 value will be 1. If these two are same means x1 value will be 1. That's why I wrote x1 here as 1. Now next, another component, that is component 2, and the pressure is P2. Even P2 is directly proportional to x2. Then initially the value of P2 is 0 means x2 is also 0. x2 is also 0. Then there is a graph. When the P2 reaches to P2 naught, here P2 is equals to P2 naught into x2. When the P2 reaches to P2 naught, x2 becomes equals to 1. x2 becomes equals to 1. I need to calculate P total. Here this is a line which indicates the P total. P total is equals to P1 plus P2. See here, the Raoult's law is very important, which is similar to Henry's law. But in case of Henry's law, we are dissolving gas in the liquid. Here we are talking about the two volatile liquids. Here of course it is in the vapor form. It is in the vapor form, but we are talking the Raoult's law for the binary solution of the two volatile liquids. So the definition is very important along with the mathematical form and graphical representation. So we are going to discuss the problems on this law in our next class. Thank you.